It's time for Recipe of the Day. I have a wonderful side dish recipe for you today. It is for whole roasted Brussels sprouts. These guys are crunchy and brown on the outside. The leaves are kind of like kale chips even, and so soft and fluffy inside like mashed potatoes. It is one of my absolute favorite ways to cook Brussels sprouts. This one's super simple and it's amazing how good it is. I just can't even express it enough. So what you're going to do is preheat the oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit and line a nice baking sheet with aluminum foil. That's just because you don't want things to stick to the pan. Now, you're going to trim off the ends of the Brussels sprouts. That tough little nub, it just isn't as nice. It doesn't cook as fast, so you don't want that. Trim those off. If any of the Brussels sprouts are really big, you can cut them in half, but really we're going with whole Brussels sprouts here. As you're trimming those Brussels sprouts, any leaves that fall off, keep them. Don't throw them out with the little nub ends. You want those in this dish. Then transfer those Brussels sprouts to a large mixing bowl. I should have said to start with that this recipe is for 1.5 pounds of Brussels sprouts, but you can of course double it or have it or whatever you want. So you transfer those trimmed Brussels sprouts and any leaves that fell off into a large mixing bowl along with 2 tablespoons of olive oil and a teaspoon of kosher salt. Then toss that all together so that the Brussels sprouts are evenly coated with the oil. Then spread those out on your foil-lined baking sheet and put them into that 425 degree Fahrenheit oven for a really long time. They're going in there for 40 to 50 minutes. The longer time if they were on the bigger side, shorter time if they were on the smaller side. But really you want them to be nice and brown and crunchy on the outside, and then they're going to be so soft and tender on the inside. And that is it. They are wonderful Brussels sprouts. I know you're going to love them. I will put the link to the recipe in the show notes for this podcast episode, or you can head to cookthestory.com/ROTD and get it there. Everything there is arranged by date, so it's helpful to know that today is November 6th of 2024. And if you make this recipe and love it, or if you make any of the recipes from either of my sites, Cook the Story or The Cookful, I would really appreciate it if you would leave a comment and a 5-star rating. The comment lets me know you're out there, lets me know what you liked and didn't like about the recipe, what you did differently, or if you followed it to a T. And then the 5-star rating, that is really just nice to see and is also really helpful to build my business. People see those star rankings when they're searching for recipes, like on Google, and they're more likely to come over to my site. So I would really appreciate it if you would do that for this recipe, if you make it and love it, or for any of the recipes from either of my sites that you have already made. And thank you to those of you who have been doing this. I see you. I love those comments and those ratings. Thank you so much. I'm Christine Pittman from cookthestory.com, thecookful.com, the all new chicken cookbook, and from this podcast, Recipe of the Day. I hope you have a great day. Let's get cooking.